Thank you, Andy Gallagher, live for us in Miami, Florida. Now let's speak to Jason Johnson, who's a political science professor at Hiram College. He joins us live from Atlanta in the U.S. state of Georgia. Welcome once again to Al Jazeera. So what do you think of President Obama's plan?
This is vintage President Barack Obama. It is a huge speech that everyone is excited about, but once all the smoke and mirrors are gone, you realize that it's actually a very, very narrow, very specific compromise. This is the kind of thing that the Senate had already passed. This is the kind of policy that is not so much a giant leap forward in immigration policy as much as it's just filling in the holes for a fractured system. So, overall it was successful, but it's not going to solve our larger immigration issues.
Now, even with these compromises, will the president be able to go ahead with it? Will he be able to implement this with the Republicans vowing to fight him tooth and nail?
Well, there's two parts to that. The president can do this with an executive order. The real question for this policy, it's not dissimilar from the Affordable Care Act. It's going to be a matter of who's willing to sign up. If the president says that after you've been here for 5 years, you can sign up, pay back taxes, and start working towards being a permanent citizen, the question is, how many people are going to be willing to do that? How many people who've been living in the United States who came here legally are going to be willing to take that risk and sign up? So that's the real challenge on the policy side. On the Republican end, they're furious. They're going to go after him. I wouldn't be surprised if they shut down the government. There is absolutely nothing in the Republican arsenal that they're not going to use after tonight's announcement.
Yeah, you're talking about that budget bill, which could shut down the government. Now, President Obama's executive orders only last a certain amount of time, don't they? If they do go through, how long would these changes in the immigration plan last for?
They can vary. They can vary. They can be anywhere from the next 2 years of his presidency. He can actually put certain kinds of limits on them. That has to do with how his lawyers determine what the sort of constitutionality is of this particular issue. The real sort of gray area for this is no one really knows. Even though we've had previous presidents use executive orders to deal with immigration, the length of time, the number of people that are affected is reinterpreted by every single Congress, by every single Attorney General. So there's a lot of ambiguity here, but I suspect the president's plan will last at least a year.
Okay, Jason, thank you so much for speaking to us. As ever, Jason Johnson is a political science professor at Hiram College. All right, we're going to move on.